And it'll, of course, yield and generate passive income for members of the DAO. And the amount of income that members get is based upon the rarity of their NFT, the number of NFTs that they own, and then the amount of Clover coin that they own, which we'll talk about later. And then just a quick background of myself. I am one of the founders of the project. The other two, which couldn't be here, is Alfie Robles, is the artist. Alfie has been doing this a long time. I think on Twitter he's got like 20,000 followers, which is a lot more than my 85. And he actually has a whole team out of New York. They've done several projects and then just killed it. And Umar IQ is the back-end developer. This guy is a rock star on GitHub. If any of you guys kind of like go down that path. And he's been doing code forever. I mean, he's really, really incredible. Those guys are great. I actually handle the operations, and I try to spend as much time. I pull everything together essentially, and I just ensure that it flows right. I try to spend as much time as I can in the Discord as well, like in the chat and announcements, and just really get a feel and a vibe on the community. Just real quick on my background, 20 years of business experience across 3 different industries. I mean, I've done everything from real estate development companies to chemical distribution companies. I have a really, really strong background within business, and I kind of know what works and what doesn't. So that's what we're bringing to the table here today. What I would like to do is I'm going to have Great Brains just kind of go into some of the details of what they're actually doing at their project. And then we're going to discuss the overlap that we're going to create to really, really build great value for our members in each community. So Great Brains, if you guys want to jump in there and just give us a quick overview of some of the actual details that you guys are doing to facilitate financial freedom for your members over there.
Well, I'm a big fan of details, which you mentioned. I get the details. We go deep, man. I think we want to start where we feel like everybody's at and work our way out, I actually posted it probably about a month and a half ago. I posted something that I learned as a young guy called an envelope system that I put together with my dad and a buddy of his. And it was just simply a way to kind of track your finances, track your bills. And what you're going to hear from me is everything is geared towards creating wealth. We've said it may become very cliche, but financial freedom. To me, that's where our focus is at. Money is not a taboo subject by no means. We talk about it a lot, and we talk about the steps to achieve it. But for me, it starts there, certainly the mindset, which you heard me talk about, and we'll talk much more about, that's going to keep coming up. But it starts with where you're at financially. And the envelope system for me was just one kind of fundamental approach of wrapping my head around my bills. And it was real simple. You just take like your electric bill. It's $100 a month. You would divide it by 4 and put on the top right-hand corner what that is. So $25. So every week I started paying attention to this. I'm looking at it. Every week I knew what needed to go in there. $25. So at the end of the month, I got my $100. That's just the electric bill. I got my mortgage, my rent, my car, all this good stuff. I took the time to figure this out. Then you start having monies left over. Now, this may sound simple, Simon stuff, but I will tell you, I deal with people every single day, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, they still don't have this figured out. But this is where we start. We start talking about that, getting your finances in order, and then figuring out what money's left over. families is not discussing this. And that, as you all probably know, it leads to many other problems. Just simply not talking about it. So I encourage, for sure, not only wrap your head around your finances and get really serious about it, but also talking to whomever your loved one is about it. Letting them know the goals. We certainly talk about dreaming big, thinking large, and all that stuff, but you've got to start kind of baby stepping it. But talking to them about the goals, wrapping your head around where all the finances are, and then you start talking about passive incomes, which we discuss a lot as well. What's other ways we can generate money without our energy, in a sense? We definitely discuss a lot of that. Is I listen to people and they say, they'll ask them, what do you do for a living? I'm this. I always have a good attitude. I want to thank for and then getting this financial thing, wrapping my head around it, where the income's coming from. And then you start going into this route of finding other ways to do it. We talked the other day also, and I don't want this to be hypocritical, but also focusing on one thing. It's kind of two-sided there. But let me also say this, and then if you guys want to, we can talk about things. But the passive income, I want to throw these things out there real quick. Nodes. Running a node on your computer. We talk a lot about this in the Discord. What are other ways I can generate money? And maybe with less energy. Running a node. I run an AOS node and I run a Theta token node on my computer. I don't do anything. It just sits there running. I'm a big miner. I've been mining for 5 years, something like that. I started with one graphics card. And then once I generated some funds off that graphics card, I bought another one. I have 30 graphics cards. I have a J19 Pro A6 miner generating about $100 a day between all of that. 30 graphics cards and that J Pro. So I found another one to create passive income. I take those funds, I do everything I'm talking about in practice. I then find a way for that money to make more money. Every month, I can get $2,700 roughly. I can put it in something to get 10% interest. Those are some versions of passive income, but again, what you're going to hear from me, I don't want to ramble too long, but we focus creating wealth, financial freedom, and understanding it's baby steps. It takes time. I'm 46 years old now, so it takes time. You just got to stick with it. But go ahead. No, keep on talking. Yeah.
No. That's great, and I it's funny. I wish if we had camera on, I think everybody would literally have their ear glued to the screen, because you're saying like that is advice that never gets old, and it's interesting because, to be honest, like, we are not really talking, and it wasn't even the focus of our project to get into like the fundamental basis of financial freedom, like just the platform of where to start. But you and I spoke about this, and that's really my background. I mean, I grew up living in like ratty motels. I spent time living in my car. I mean, and I know what it's like to have nothing. And I remember when I made my first $1 million in business. I remember when I made my first $10,000 in business, and it felt like $1 billion. And so and those principles is what really served as the foundation, not only to make money, but to keep it. Um, so interestingly, I think us working with you guys and our members getting access to that kind of information is going to be so helpful for them. I know on our end, like I'm a big investment guy, and I have played in a lot of different investment fields. I mean, like I said, everything from real estate to forex to crypto. I played in all of it, and thing that I notice about every investment field is that early on, it's very easy to achieve alpha gains. I mean, honestly, you could be like a monkey and you're gonna make money. But as the industry matures, it becomes harder and harder and harder. And I'm not just talking about rug pulls. I mean good, honest projects. And the reason is you have more entrants that are now playing in that game, so it becomes more efficient, and so you have a stronger pull between supply and demand. I mean, there's all of these things, and we talk, and one of the things that I do as an investment guy is I look at our industry way up from the top. I mean, I every day I probably spend the first hour, and I start by looking at global movements across commodities, indexes, political movements. Where are we at in terms of interest rates, not only in the U.S. but other key locations? Key stocks, the cryptocurrency, obviously the crypto market in general, certain particular crypto coins that are big hitters or that are movers, and then I finally get down to the NFT space. Then I get into the Solana NFT space, and sometimes even deeper in there. And the reason I do that, I know that our NFT community is no longer isolated. At the beginning of the year, I think it was $100 million market cap. Today, it's over 15 billion. I don't think people understand like what kind of a leap that is. It's unprecedented. So we have a lot of different factors that are now affecting the value of an NFT. And it's very hard, honestly, if not almost impossible, for one solo investor out there to make the right decision at the right time. Usually they either make the wrong decision in purchasing the wrong NFT, or they'll purchase the right NFT at the wrong time. They'll sell the right NFT at the wrong time. And there is safety in numbers. And so what we have really wanted to do was to build a community within our DAO that is geared toward protecting people, guiding them down this path of this maze of information, really sort of giving them an easier way to say, here, like, these are the top picks. These are why we think that you should be buying. This is why we're going to buy this as the DAO or sell this as the DAO. And guess what? Because you're a member of the DAO, not only will you gain the benefit from the DAO itself and whatever income comes in, but then you can take that exact same information, apply it to your own personal investment strategy. And I got to tell you, like, I am beyond excited about that. And I think taking that and then telling people and giving them the opportunity to say, but if you don't have any money to start with, it doesn't matter how good your investment decisions are. And but a lot of us actually have money, but to your point, it's just not budgeted correctly. And we just don't know that. And some of the ideas that you're presenting I'm like taking notes. I'm like, oh, notes. I'm like, oh, mining. I'm like, and these are all things that I know, but I've never done. If someone said, I have no idea how to do it. So it's like we really need each other in order to collaborate.
I want to, Facade, I want to say something on that if you don't mind. I want, and focused on the NFTs, like you said, and you heard me kind of touch on that. The excitement that I see in this space, community driven. I want everybody on here to think about that for a second, because since I've been in the Discords and I've gotten to know NFTs a little bit, it is kind of the one thing that I see that's misunderstood is what role do you play in this? To me, at first it's okay, yeah, buy one of these pieces of art and I hope it goes to the moon, right? Well, when you saw that on the surface, you didn't maybe realize, and speaking for myself, what was happening behind the scenes, that it was really community driven. And I want everybody to think about that, because I can watch the Discords and you see that people don't quite understand they can bring value to this thing. And that's what'll make it go up. Please understand what I'm saying, man. I've been investing in stocks for a long time. And, again, going back to that, it's kind of like you ride the coattails of a great company, and that's cool. And of course, you get your quarterly thing where they'll hear your vote on certain things, whatever. Doesn't really mean a whole lot. We can move the needle. You have found an awesome project in Lying LepreCons. I found an awesome project in the Great Brains. What value can I bring to this thing? I don't look at it like, I hope it goes up. If it don't, that's a rug pull. Somebody's ripping me off. I don't think like that. My brain doesn't do that. It goes, what can I bring to this? Just like what Facade's doing, bringing people together. But look at that from the individual basis of what can you do to move the needle? What value do you have? It doesn't have to be anything extreme. The only thing I got on the younger crowd is age, years behind me, But what do you do for a living? What have you done? You got a good personality. All those things. Please think of it from that standpoint. And I love what you guys are doing to protect the consumer style. I freaking love it. At the same time, though, look at what you can do for the project. And do it with conviction. Say to yourself, you know what? I got involved in this thing. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't giving up. I bought it for a reason. There was something at that time I liked. Maybe it was the art, whatever. There was something that I liked. I ain't giving up. This, Lying LepreCons will go up. Your holdings will go up in value based on what you bring to it, just like ours. I just want everybody to kind of see it that way. I think it gets overlooked. People go, well, I bought a piece of cool artwork. Why the hell ain't it going up? Well, what role do you play in that? It's a little tough pill to swallow, maybe. You say, what responsibility do I have here? But I think that's how you have to look at it. My opinion.
No doubt. And it's really interesting because you are right. Like, if you look at any asset class from watches, which I've collected, I love watches, to like fine painting, to just stocks. Fundamentally, the value of that asset is moved by the believers in it. And here's a great example that we all know: street bets. I guess it was a year ago, year and a half ago, a year ago, I guess, because it was in the middle of the quarantine, go in and they look at AMC and GameStop, and their stock is horrible, honestly, because the companies were dying. I mean, it was horrible for a reason. And as an investment guy, I realized what happened in Wall Street. You have real movers, and your movers are your market makers, and these are the guys that are placing stock orders in the billions. And when the market maker places an order, it moves the market. And the average retail investor could not move the market. I mean, if a guy goes into a stock and he buys or sells $10,000 in that stock, it does nothing to move $1 trillion market. But Berkshire Hathaway goes in and they drop $20 billion in a specific stock, or 10 billion, the entire stock moves. And often that, not only that stock, but the segment of the market that stock occupies. I got to tell you, it literally has been this way for 100 years. That's why it was like almost impossible for a day trader to make money. Wall Street Bets got together, and it was just all little retail trading guys, and they literally created a community. Exactly what we're doing here. They led the community up by intelligent leaders, and they basically said, hey, we're going to demonstrate to Wall Street that we control our own destiny. And guys, they went in, and AMC theaters and GameStop, they literally saw, forgive the expression, but like cryptocurrency NFT games. Like, it was insane. And the reason why they got all over the news was it wasn't supposed to happen. Like, that's not how things are supposed to work. Community is not supposed to be that powerful. It is. And I don't. Yeah. I have never, 20 years I've been in business, I have never seen so much community power in any business segment that I have ever been involved in my life. And honestly, that even includes nonprofit organizations. I've never seen anything like this. And I kind of want to share with you guys what our commitment is to you as the members, because no doubt you guys have project. That really starts with one, having amazing art. There's a reason why people spend 10, 15, 20, people $69 million on literally something to just look at. Can anybody tell me what the utility is of Beeple's painting that sold, if his NFT that sold for $69 million? I will give $1 million right now to the person that can tell me, because there is none. It is just there's no utility to owning the Mona Lisa. There's zero. It's simply the value of the art. Honestly, I'm a huge believer in that. Secondly is, however, we do want it to function as with great utility, and that means generating some kind of income, value, and experience, those three things, for our followers. And we want to make that easy. And when I say we, I'm speaking from myself and also the great brains. We don't want to make that difficult or complex. It's like, hey, purchase an NFT, join the DAO. You're going to get great advice on investment that would probably cost you thousands of dollars. You're also going to get access to passive income. Fantastic. On our side, one of the things that we're also looking at, and this is interesting for those that have been following the NFT market, you can definitely give me a thumbs up on this, because you'll agree. How many projects have we seen that pump before they drop? I won't put out any names, Mechaverse, I just put that out, but I mean, they pump huge, and maybe they drop, and I'm just going to use dollars here so that we don't get confused with like Solana, ETH, and Cardano, but maybe they drop, and at mint they're selling for anywhere from $300 to $1,000, and before the reveal they're already getting pumped on the secondary market for like 2-3 times that. And as soon as the reveal happens, prices slash 50% or sometimes more. I know all of you guys are nodding your heads right now because we've seen that. But one of the things that I have noticed after looking really hard is that, one, projects that come out and they have a good pump behind them, but it's not insane, tend to actually hold their value once they launch. Secondly, if a project can stay within the hands of the original holders on average for about 2 weeks, after that the project is typically fine. What it will usually do is hold its value and incrementally go up in value. 2%, 5%, maybe 10%, but it will do this at a consistent basis and not tank. So one of the things that we thought about was, how can we naturally motivate people to desperately want to hold on to their Lying LepreCon NFT immediately after mint, without just jumping around and saying, don't sell, paper hands, and all of this. Like, what can we actually do? And that's when, and this was not like my idea, so I'm going to say we, but that's when we thought of the pot of soul. We call it Sol, S-O-L, because we are launching on Solana. And what we are doing is, for 30 days after our public sale, we're opening up another website. And on that website, you'll see what looks like a pot at the end, like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And all of our members know about our Clover coin. And there are a lot of utilities for it. The first utility is that the Clover coin going to provide access to that Pot of Soul page. And every day, for 30 days, we have set aside $60,000 for the Pot of Soul. And every time you play the Pot of Soul, you burn one of your Clover coins, and you have as many plays as you want compared to however many Clover coins that you want. And every day, literally randomly, a winner is chosen. And it's randomly chosen not by us, but it's actually chosen by the site. And they receive some kind of money. So it could be like $10, $20, or they receive an NFT or something else that's special, but primarily money and NFTs. And not just our NFTs, but also NFTs from other projects. Well, what we've done, we backloaded those prizes. It means in the early days, like in the first 15 days, you'll get prizes, but honestly, they're going to be small. You know, they're going to be like, $10, $20, $100, whatever. But as we get later and later into those 30-day periods, you're going to start to see some massive prizes, $1,000, rare NFTs. And as you get like to the last 3 days, prizes become insane. I think the highest that we have right now is like a $6,000 giveaway to one individual. Every day we are airdropping one Clover coin to every single holder of the LepreCon, and depending on your rarity, you might even get 2, I believe. And for those that don't burn any of their Clover coin and actually skip the entire giveaway, the entire Pot of Soul, I think we're entering them into something like a $20,000 grand prize giveaway that's separate from the Pot of Soul. So that was really like our idea, like, okay, how can we get people just to hold? We want you to sell, like we want you guys to make money if you decide to sell, but how can we get people to hold for at least 15 days, really set the value of the project? Plus, like, who doesn't like to gamble if they have a few extra cents? Especially when you're not gambling with money, but with digital Clover coin, it's a lot of fun. So, well, guys, we're getting kind of later. We would love to open it up for any Q&A, whatever questions that you guys have for either project or for both projects. Just go ahead and holler. I don't even think you have to do push to talk. Just unmute your microphone, and we can hear you.
I just want to be clear, like, if you're on whitelisted, right, and then you want to buy one NFT, it has 33% off rent.
Yes, that's correct. So, and I wanna just kind of let the great brains talk about this. Your mint is finished, done. You guys are actually on OpenSea right now. People can find you there, and they can actually pick your project up on the secondary market, correct?
Yeah, so we have a plan actually. So we're closed out at 2K, sold out, and we have a plan of reopening our mint back up, but once we are about 1 ether, about 0.5, between 0.5 and 1 ether. Probably closer to 1 ether, just so we know for sure that we are selling out that complete other side of it. But yeah, we are on OpenSea, and right now we are closing out our 0.02 floor right now, and we are about like I have to count again, but I believe we're gonna have a couple sweeps after the AMA, so we're probably gonna be moving up in floor price. But yeah, we are on OpenSea, and yeah, come check us out.
Yeah, definitely. And this is definitely one of the projects, guys, that once we're done with Mint, that we're going to be definitely looking at a floor sweep. We so believe in what they're doing. There's no question about that. As far as our Mint goes, yes. So the public price for the Mint will be 1.5 Sol, and that will be on December 13th. The pre-sale price, which is, I guess, 2 days, on December 10th, is going to be 1 Sol. We are only releasing 500 NFTs for the pre-sale. So yeah, 1 Sol for pre-sale if you made whitelist, and 1.5 for public sale. Either way is great. And we are launching on Solana, which means your gas fees they're kind of a lot, guys. They're like $5 to $15. So, like, I'm laughing, but like that's nothing. So Ethereum, I think, is like, I mean, it's all over the map, but we all know that you can pay hundreds of dollars in ETH for gas, and I think that they're going to fix that. I do. I think that they'll get that right. But anyway, Solana basically has no gas fees, so the price is the price of the NFT, which is great. You guys will save money either way. So any other questions out there, guys? Anything is really open, or if you guys have any concerns or ideas or anything, we have a few more minutes, so we'd love to hear from you. Looks like these guys are a little nervous. It's funny because I jumped onto karaoke with everybody. Yes, it was 2 nights ago. It was the first time ever in my life I did karaoke, and nobody was shy. Nobody was shy.
Is that on your Discord?
Yeah, we do karaoke nights on Discord. So I never do it. Like, I'll listen, but I've never actually done karaoke in my life. But I just decided, what the heck, I'll jump in, and it was fun. It was cool.
I love
it. But all right, well, guys, look, if no one has any questions for us, that's fantastic. Hash, if you will shoot me over like a link to your OpenSea, I'll go ahead and I'll throw that up in our announcements and in our chat, so that people have the actual link to go to. And
cool.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna keep you posted. We're gonna be Great Brains and Lying LepreCons will be talking in the background as days move forward, as far as details of what we are actually going to be doing for you guys. So stay tuned, and we love you guys and really appreciate you.
Also, I have this, oh, sorry. You go ahead, Hash.
You're good. No, I'm just saying thank you too, but go for it.
Oh, I'm just saying I have this whole thing recorded, so it'll be on our server if anybody, wants to go back to it for reference, or, whatever, they came late or whatever. So this will be recorded.
Oh, that's so cool.
Fantastic. Okay.
One final thought, everybody. I love Facade the way you said that. Nobody said what utility does a Rembrandt bring or a Picasso. Just remember this: we are the utility. I was a community member with the Great Brains. I just seen it as, what value can I bring as well? If airdrop, all the stuff that can be added is fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Great brains, oh great brains, great brains, oh great brains. Self-improvement is a part of our great community. So become a member with a Great Brain NFT. Great brains, oh great